alleged of late that the streets of LA, Austin, and many other southwestern cesspits are a Mel Gibson mullet and a set of Tina Turner titties away from being full-on Thunderdome. Particularly adroit observers of political discourse may even be apprised that it's as a result of the ongoing ICE raids, which have of late faced armed, suspiciously well-funded organized resistance that downtown Portland and LA look like Fallujah with sombreros. Why Portland, do you ask? A town so stuffed to the ceiling with white women the key to the city opens a wine cabinet? Simple. The issue is never the issue. The issue is always the revolution. An ICE facility in Portland gets about as much foot traffic as a Palestinian pig farmer. If they account for even 1% of deportations, I'll play Tchaikovsky's Fourth Symphony with my own ass, bassoon solo included. But this, of course, is also why they're covered in more graffiti right now than Mike Tyson's face. Being barely ass involved makes them a soft target in a city whose electoral map looks like the stands at Dodger Stadium, teeming with tism-afflicted blue state aging whiteys. Yet in other, redder locales, they've still embraced far more murderous tactics. On July 4th, following a report of Bolsheviks in black blocs shooting off fireworks at an ICE facility, agents arrived only to immediately be fired upon from the darkness. The fiery, mostly peaceful pinkos expended an estimated 30 rounds, striking one officer in the neck, but killing nothing apart from their marksmanship score. Of course, if illegals could hit anything with a gun, Mexicans wouldn't have lost the American Southwest to begin with. Seethe harder, Geraldo! Between that and their birth rates, apparently the only time Mexicans aren't firing blanks is conception.
Es con mucho dolor que digamos adiós a Javier, y Pepe, y Carlos, y Lupe, y otra Lupe.
3 weeks later in McAllen, Texas, a lone gunman with a Spanish surname opened up on an ICE facility, injuring two before authorities returned fire and turned his skull into a T-top. But there have been fatalities on both sides. After an ICE raid in Camarillo, California, a suspect being pursued by ICE plummeted to his death after falling 2 stories. Or maybe it was only Juan. You may inquire after pressing 1 for English how exactly these protesters discern so expeditiously where ICE agents and their operations are actually deploying in the future. And while many culprits boasting varying degrees of organization and funding might be implicated, I can't imagine it helped when sitting California congressmen such as Salud Carbajal, a Yiddish surname no doubt, doxed DHS and ICE agents on social media. Now, given that almost all of this violence has occurred in areas with the most registered Democrats this side of Arlington National Cemetery, you'd think Dems would be down to curtail the tide of blood, or at least mop up the gore lest they slip on some plasma, crack their head, and forever lose a voter. But quite contrary-wise, if public outrage at ICE is a furnace, Cory Booker and company are burning more coal than all the Kardashian sisters combined. See, evidently what passes for Democratic leadership doesn't have any issue with the public beatings. They ain't got the time of the day, week, or in Adam Schiff's case, month, for the ICE agent who had an incendiary device lobbed at his fully flammable head 3 weeks ago, and they certainly take no issue with the Sinaloa cartel mailing 10mm welcome cards to federal immigration officials. No. What's gotta stop is ICE agents wearing body armor and face masks as they inconsiderately allow themselves to be near mortally wounded by illegal immigrants. The lack of visible identification and uniform standards for immigration enforcement officers has created confusion, stoked fear, and undermined public trust in law enforcement, said the wall-eyed wonder Cory Booker, before adding that the way his IMAX eyeballs see it, ICE agents have, and I quote, an absolute duty to reveal themselves to the public. Uncringy quote. Oh, sure, you shiny-headed halfwit. We've spent the past decade watching roiling hordes of Marxist manatees and Guy Fawkes masks enact a street theater rendition of V for Velveeta. But ICE agents wearing masks so their children ain't carted off to a cartel Cub Scout camp. That's the operative malady here, Mr. Clean. Who knew Rosario Dawson's slatch causes contagious retardation? What is her birth canal lined with asbestos? I don't know how much more clearly we can make this at this point. I'd say we should hire an interpreter, but living in Phoenix as I do, I'm all too aware not only can you not speak English, you can barely speak Spanish. So who knows? Maybe Trump will hire a skywriting company to paint pretty pictures of an extended middle finger and a boot on your ass. See, you're not cranky at authorities. Your beef is with voters like me, Manuel, and the feeling is more than mutual. To put her in a pigeon language you actually understand, we voted to Deporto, your couch on the front porch having Spanish polka blaring, sugarcane coke swilling asso. Vaya con ice van, muchacho. I'm Razor Fist. Godspeed.
A lot of people say there's one thing wrong with this country, and it's Mexicans and computers. Computers can't sneak into your country